Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to cut and sew this Bustier crop top with spaghetti strap. To make this top, I'll be making use of my shoulder dart Bustier pattern. I have edited video on how to draft a shoulder dart Bustier on my channel. I'm going to drop the link in the description box below so you can check that out. I don't want to start drafting all over again, so this video won't be too long. So the first thing I did was to separate my front and back pattern. So I'll be working on the front pattern first. On the center back line, I came down by 10 inches. You can make yours more or less depending on how deep you want your neckline to be. And on the line that divides the shoulder, I came down by 7 inches. Then I'll draw the shape of my neckline now. I'm going to connect that with my curved ruler to form my sweetheart neckline. Then I'll blend that into my armhole, like you see me doing. Then the next thing I did was to mark a 0.75 inch on both sides of the line. Then I'm going to connect those 2 points into the bust line. I'm going to connect this into the line, and I'll connect this into the bust line like you see me doing. So that will be all for the front pattern. I'm going to cut out now. Then I'm going to fold the dart on my neckline. After folding, you'll notice that the neckline is not aligning. All I'm going to do now is to blend the upper line with my curve. I'll blend it into the neckline. You can see now that the neckline is now equal. So we'll be going with the upper line. So we'll cut out now. And we'll cut our bust dart now. And we're going to close that with our masking tape. Then I'm going to blend the sides. So that is all for the front pattern. You can see everything is aligning. So this is our center front, and that side is on fold. This is our sewing allowance. We had our seam allowance on the pattern already. So I'll be working on the back pattern now. I have my zipper allowance there. I came down by 10 inches from my center back, and I'll just connect that to my side seam. So that will be all for my back pattern. I'm going to cut that out now. I have my zipper allowance and my side seam allowance on the pattern. Then I'll slash my darts also. Cut out my darts. So this is my center back, and this is my side back. And I drew an arrow there to indicate my upper side. So that is all for the pattern. I'll be cutting out some fabric now. I'm gonna need to transfer my pattern to the fabric. you can see, this side is unfold, and I added half inch round, half inch, and I have my side seam allowance there. I've cut out the back piece as well, and I added the necessary allowances. So, and I've gone ahead to cut my lining too. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to join my pieces together. I will start by joining the front pieces. I'll be joining the 3 pieces in the front. So I'm going to pin my side front to the center front. I'm going to pin it, and I'm going to stitch it with my half inch allowance. I'm going to stitch that with my half inch allowance. I'll do that to the other side as well. So I've gone ahead to stitch it here, and I'm making notches around the bust area. So I'll go ahead to join the back pieces too. I'll remove my pattern paper from the fabric. So I'll be joining one side of the back piece. I'm going to pin that down, and I'll be joining with my half inch allowance. I'll do that to the other side as well. I'll pin that down, then I'll join it with my half inch allowance. So this is it after I was done joining. So the next thing I'll do now is to join my side seam allowance, which is 1 inch. I'm going to pin that down, and I'll join it with my 1 inch side seam allowance. I'll join that with 1 inch side seam allowance. So this is it after I was done joining. I've gone ahead to iron down all my seam allowance. I've gone ahead to join my lining pieces too. Everything I did to the main fabric, I did that to the lining pieces as well. So I'll be working on the straps now. All I did was to measure from my shoulder to where the style line started from. For the front, I had 7 inches. And for the back too, I measure from my shoulder to where the style line is starting from. It's 9 inches for the back. So I added the front and back together. I have 16 inches. So I'm going to add 1 inch to my 16 inches. That will be 17 inches. The 1 inch is for joining the strap to the front and to the back borders. I'm going to ahead to cut my strap. The length is 17 inches. And the width is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to fold that half inch twice, and I'll further fold it again. So I'll go ahead to stitch that. I'll go ahead to stitch it down. I'm going to place one side of the strap to my front, to the dart line on the front. I'm going to pin that to the dart line, and for the back as well, I'm going to place it to the dart line on the back. Make sure you straighten that out so it won't get twisted. I'm going to pin that down. I'll do that to the second side as well. So I'm going to place my lining pieces on my main fabric now. Right side facing right side. Then I'm going to pin that down as well. And I'll go ahead to stitch that with half inch. So this is it after I was done stitching. And I've gone ahead to make notches around the neckline. So I'll turn it to the right side. I'll go ahead to iron that. I'll iron it down so that the lining is not sticking out of the fabric. And you can as well top stitch that if you want. So I've given it a good press. Yeah. So I'm going to turn it back to the wrong side. So I'll go ahead to join my down part as well with 1/2 inch. So this is it. After I was done sewing the down part, I will flip it to the right side now. So this is it. You can see how neat it's looking. I'll go ahead to give that a good press. And the last thing I'm going to do is to fix my zipper. So I've gone ahead to fix my zipper here. You can see how neat everything is looking like. So that's all for this tutorial. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching. Please kindly subscribe, share and like my videos. And I'll see you in the next one.